Well, it looked like that test worked, so I'm assuming these early first 10 seconds are making it up to YouTube, which is good. And if not, it'll have just started right now. Okay, so Hythloday, I told I was not going to do a formal proof of his circularity because, he accused me. I said he was being circular. And so he said, well, I have to do this formal proof if I'm going to say something like that. But he said my argument was circular first, and he never did that. I don't remember him doing any formal logic. And it was just the argument we got in, back in the day. He said he was the questioner, I was the questioning. He refused to be, responsible for answering my questions. He believes in an uneven playing field, evidently. You made an emotional play. I guess you think that means you get out of having to do this highfalutin, very careful logic that you think everybody else has to do, or you say you think that. So I'm not going to show you how you're circular, but I'm going to put down, and it's not complete, but this should be enough to start. Yeah, go ahead and nitpick it, and we'll fix it, but you have to do at least this much if you're going to say, I'm circular. But you've never done it. I doubt you will, so let's just say, for now, my system is not circular. So here's the idea. This is the film strip. Each frame of the film strip we take as A1 through N. Those are the objects, the things that are going to go in X. If f of x is true, that's what we're inferring from. Those are the starting point in our logical inference. So capital A, I'm just saying, well, that's shorthand for all A sub through N, which, if you want to know what I mean, A is the logical conjugate. A1 and A2 and A all the way to AN. But you're not ready to jump down here to your theory of materiality yet. No. You have to run all of these ideas. Some of these aren't good enough for your physical theory. For example, since the lake melted, I've been waking up and there's fog on the lake in the morning. I look out there and my eyes are saturated with all the light, and I keep having the distinct, not just that I can't tell, it looks frozen. The first couple days that happened, I'm like, oh, it's frozen again. That doesn't make sense, and as I woke up, I figured out. More recently, I wake up, it still looks like that, and I just wait for my eyes to adjust, and I know it's going to be water. That doesn't pass this R here, the reliability operator. I'm not going to use that when I'm thinking about what's the weather like in spring in Maine. I'm not going to say the lake freezes and then melts before your eyes in the morning. No, it's not reliable. When I see my grandma's face in the clouds, but my wife doesn't see it or anything like it, it's not reliable. But those that are reliable, things that can be measured traditionally, we're going to put those in this set B. So if something is reliable, then it's also in set B. And just to make sure we don't lose anything, everything that's not reliable, like that lucid hallucination of the lake being frozen when I know better, those go in this other class C, so we're just going to keep them around. So similarly with A, that means B is B1 through N, which is a subset of A. It's the reliable frames, the frames that pass the reliability. Now that complete set of B we use to create and justify, logically, we draw this theory, this mechanical theory here. Now I have a mechanical theory, you have a mechanical theory. We might need different subscripts. Those are a bit different partly because of what we consider reliable and so on. But even if we had the same set, well, we couldn't have the same set, right? Because we have a different set of A1 through N. It's different for me and you. So even if we were trying to choose the same reliability, we'll still have different sets in B. But even if we could have the same set of B, because we have different ways of thinking, we might come up with different material theories. We're both there. You and I both have a theory of materiality drawn from a subset of what we consider measurable or reliable raw data. But what you do and I don't do is you then say, hey, I'm going to use my material theory to say that Everything in C, in that set C, doesn't exist. And it's not just my hallucination of a frozen lake in the morning. It's things like cognition, the experience of making a choice. None of those frames of you making a choice had to be taken into account. They're not in B. You think they're an illusion. And you think you can prove they're an illusion by a model you created by ignoring the things in C. And you can't.